Everything in your life happens for a reason. Your responsibility is to look at these things and ask this question, why now? You need activation energy to start the chain, whether it's to sit down, get out of bed, or walk out the door. That's the key to creating any kind of change. This activation energy inside of you causes the initial boom, and then what happens over time? Once you start, there's a chain reaction that allows you to keep going. You have to act on your passion. You have to act on your inner drive. Don't let those feelings stay bottled up inside. You need to know what to do with them, how to make them work in order to get what you want. Don't hold them in. You want to improve, get better, start a workout program, or clean up your diet, or maybe even launch a business. Where do you start? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. At some point in life, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. Jumping is the hardest thing for most people to do, but you have to jump. If you never jump, you'll never be successful. When you first jump, I guarantee the parachute isn't going to open right away. I promise you that. But guess what? Eventually, it will open and you'll begin your glide. But it all starts with the jump. You have to jump, man. No matter how painful it is, you have to keep going because your passion, your focus will drive you forward. Your focus and your passion will numb you to failure and ease the pain of striving toward your goals. I refuse to accept that I am stuck as I am, that this is all I'm destined to be. No, I reject that. I'm fighting. I'm always fighting. I'm struggling, scrapping, kicking, and clawing at my weaknesses to change them and stop them from holding me back. Some days I win. Some days I don't. But every day I get back up and move forward with my fists clenched toward the battle, toward the struggle. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome my weaknesses, my shortfalls, and my flaws. Without goals, you are directionless. You will be used by others. People without goals get used by people who have them. Those without goals end up working for those who do. So if you want to be in control of your life, you need to get clear about what you want. Make a list minus 101 goals. I want to go to Paris. I want to skydive. I want to bungee jump. I want to learn to play the guitar. I want to learn to juggle. I want to master 2 magic tricks to impress the kids. I want to attend the Olympics in Beijing. Whatever your goals are, write them down. You need to delete all the negativity around you and focus on the things that make you feel great. So, you could focus on a relationship you have. You could focus on how much you've already learned in the last 6, 7, or 8 days. You could focus on the people who love you. You could focus on your ability as a human being to change your life at any moment in time. You have to be crazy in believing in your goal and your passion, because when something seems crazy, even though it's crazy, you still do it, right? Every single person is designed from infancy with special talents and abilities that, if developed to their fullest, can enable them to accomplish anything they want in life. Everyone is genetically structured to do something superbly, to do something they enjoy, to do it well, and to gain great satisfaction from it. There is no difference in capability between you and someone you consider to be an ultimate role model of success. The only difference is that they've learned to use their mind and body with more power on a consistent basis. They've learned to manage their state. They've learned to use their body effectively. Whether they consciously know it or not doesn't matter. A lot of people do things without being aware of how they do them and learn to control their mental focus. Remember, whatever we consistently concentrate our focus on, strive to learn from, and make new distinctions about, we will become great at. I want to reassure you that you can do it. I want to reassure you that you can make the decisions. No matter the night, no matter the storm, no matter the difficulty, there isn't anyone here who can't figure it out. Find something to do one step at a time. Yes, 1 minute at a time. Yes, 1 day at a time. Yes, 1 week at a time. Yes. There isn't anything you can't walk away from. There isn't any challenge you can't overcome. I want you to have that kind of belief in yourself. You've got to believe in yourself. You just have to, and then you do it. You see it, you believe it, and then you do it. The hard part is getting over it in the beginning. 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. It will be ingrained in your central nervous system if you do it every day for 3 weeks. Studies show this. The hardest part is the first 5 days. Once you get through that, things become much easier, and then you're on the path toward greatness. The anxiety goes away, the fear goes away, the stress goes away. The hardest part of getting a ship moving is the beginning. It's just like NASA shuttles, the most fuel is used during the launch. That's where the most energy and effort are required. We get caught in the trap of thinking that the same energy and effort will be needed throughout the entire process, but that's not the truth. You will adapt, it will get easier. But it's a matter of overcoming that initial fear to reach the point where the habit is ingrained in your central nervous system, and then you're on autopilot. It's like when you've written a paper for school. It's really hard in the beginning. You procrastinate, and procrastinate. And the night before it's due, you sit yourself down and start. In the first 15 minutes, you get writer's block. It feels hard, but once you break through, it's like you're on autopilot. Suddenly, thoughts just start flowing. It's unbelievable how the brain works. You're writing at lightning speed, coming up with ideas you never even thought of before. I know this has happened to you. And then you almost have to force yourself to stop because you need to get some sleep. But you're so caught up in the momentum. And that's how life is. Once you get involved in something, it just goes on autopilot. And you start thinking of really elaborate, higher level stuff, things that beginners or outsiders don't experience. From the outside, people look at these successful individuals and wonder, how do they do this? I don't understand how they're able to do it. And of course you don't, because you've never immersed yourself in that process. But once you do, you'll realize you can do it too. They aren't made of anything different from you, no matter how different you think they are. They're flesh and blood just like you. But life is more about conditioning, habitual routines, and stepping outside your comfort zone than it is about genetics. Yes, you might have a genetic anomaly or be endowed with certain gifts and qualities, but I guarantee that many successful people wish they had the qualities you possess. No one is perfect in this world. Everyone has flaws, right? But you can't be on a quest for perfection. You are imperfect. And the goal isn't to become perfect because you'll never get there. If that's your goal, you're setting yourself up for failure. The real quest is to be the best version of yourself. And the only way to do that is to break through your fears, because fear is the brick wall of your comfort zone. If you break that wall, your comfort zone expands and it knows no bounds. Literally everything on this planet can become part of your comfort zone if you choose to break down those walls. You have goals, dreams, and various pursuits in life. But instead of just starting and taking things step by step, you might find yourself sitting on the sidelines waiting for a contract or a guarantee of success. You want a detailed game plan or a map of every step you'll need to take, what to do, when to do it, so that everything feels predictable and safe. But life doesn't work like that. You can't demand certainty before you act. You might think, I don't want to jump into uncertainty or the unknown. I want to know exactly what's going to happen next. But that mentality leaves you stuck in limbo. Instead of progressing or expanding, you end up doubting yourself. This indecision eats you up inside. The fact that you aren't progressing burns you, killing your purpose in life. You end up putting your course and purpose on hold, and things just get worse. You might think, I need a logical plan for every step along the way. Planning is good, yes, but over-planning can backfire because the future is inherently unpredictable. We live in a world that changes so quickly that no one can plan every detail far in advance. No one, absolutely no one, can predict exactly what will happen in the next 1, 2, or 5 years. Everyone has a general vision of where they want to go, and that's good. You should focus on your vision, like, I want to be in this position one day. But along the way, you'll face unexpected obstacles, things you can't predict. These challenges will pop up out of nowhere, and if you wait for certainty before starting, you'll never begin. On top of that, the sheer number of steps ahead can psych you out. You'll feel overwhelmed by the enormity of the task and end up doing nothing. Just take the first step. Even if you don't know where the next step will lead, just start now. That way it's manageable and not too overwhelming. Whatever you're trying to achieve, there's always something you can do right now. Even while watching this video, you can probably pause it and take some kind of action that will push you in the right direction. You won't get overwhelmed, and guess what? It's going to start building momentum. This is key every single step of the way. It gets a little easier. The next step, and then the next, each one becomes bigger and easier as you go. Do you know what makes people more successful? Do you? 3 things will make you successful: a continuous interest in improving yourself, being self-aware, and hard work, lots of it. Improve yourself continuously, never stop developing. Develop a passion for learning and growing. Improving yourself begins right where you are. Yes, it starts with education, with school. You didn't come to school to slack off or to fail. You came to learn how to be great, how to be the best leader, the best academic, or the best at whatever you want to do. Don't let your friends distract you or deter you. Develop yourself. Show them there's a better way. Show them that you are different. Improve yourself. Study hard. Study long. Give it your all. Give it everything you've got. Successful people don't reach their goals by following or pleasing their friends. Instead, they lead. They commit themselves to self-development. They exercise their mind, they learn, they study, and they pass their exams. Nobody will do it for you. Only you can do it for yourself. Only you can put in the work. If you're not prepared, if you don't work hard, you will lose. You won't win. You will always be behind, and you'll never achieve greatness. To be successful at anything, you have to get to know yourself. You need to know who you are, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are. You must understand what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, and what you're not good at. Learn what your learning styles are and where you study best. Learning about yourself will build confidence and change your behavior. Studying will become easier, and passing your exams will become easier. It will take you to places you've never been before. Getting to those places and standing there will require determination. It will demand that you never give up on your dreams, never give up on your goals. Life will throw challenges at you. Teachers will give you tough exams. No one promised life would be easy, but what is promised is that you can do it. You can win. You can pass your exams. You can be the best. You can achieve your goals. You can become whatever you desire to be. But you have to be determined. You have to want it so badly that you will never give up. You have to want it so badly that you're willing to lose sleep for it. You have to want it so badly that you're willing to lose friends over it. You have to want it so badly that you're willing to work hard for it and never, ever give up. Giving up is not an option. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can achieve it. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams and fight for them. Tell yourself, I'm in it to win it. Tell yourself that you will keep trying, even if you fail. When you fail, get up, brush yourself off, and try again. Keep going, even if people laugh at you. Keep going, even if you lose, because guess what? Life isn't always about where you end up. It's about the journey. It's about your attitude. It's about your determination. It's about never giving up. You need to schedule your time. Don't just squeeze studying into random gaps in your day. Your schedule should revolve around your study time. What does this mean? It means having a specific time during the day when you start studying. For me, I remember it was around 6 p.m. I would always say to myself, okay, 6 p.m., I get back from school, rest for a bit, and at 6 p.m., my study time starts. How long does it go? Well, that depends on how many assignments and how much homework I have, but it would go for at least an hour or two. Sometimes it would stretch to 4 or 5 or even 6 hours. It would start at 6 and usually end around 9 or 10 or even later. It varied, but I think what's really important is having that starting time of 6, no matter what 6. Sit down and study. Open the books, sit down and study. It doesn't have to be 6 for you. Just come up with your own time, but stick to it every single day. The key here is consistency. What's important about this is that it leads us to the next point. You have to get comfortable and slow yourself down in order to study effectively. You can't rush the studying process. One of the strategies I use is brute force, just persistence and repetition. A lot of the challenges I faced as a student were with things I couldn't understand right away, but I brute forced my way through them with repetition. This takes time, and you have to be patient with yourself. Sometimes you won't understand the problem right away. You have to keep repeating it, mulling it over again and again. This means that instead of finishing a short math assignment in an hour, it might take 3 hours, but it's worth it if you calm yourself down. Get comfortable, slow yourself down, and open yourself to absorbing the information. This is where love for the subject comes in. If you don't enjoy what you're doing and are just rushing through it, cramming for an exam, it becomes a miserable experience. It's like jumping through hoops like a dog in a circus. When you study with the mentality of, I just need to pass this exam to get good grades, get into college, and make my parents happy, you're just jumping through hoops. Don't do that. Instead, think of it this way: this subject is fascinating. Let me study more. Let me learn more. I want to see how math connects with history, how history connects with science, and how everything interrelates. I want to dive deeper into this topic. That's the mindset you need. There's no magic formula for being successful, not in school, not in work. Success comes from working hard, respecting the people around you, and just going for it. I've never met a successful person who doesn't work hard. There are 2 rules I always follow: work hard and be brave. The essence of hard work is straightforward. You'll never be the best looking, the tallest, the most talented, or the most capable. You won't always have the most money. There will always be someone better than you at what you do. But you can always be the hardest working person in the room. And the hardest working person will always win. Ask yourself, who must I become to achieve what I want? What has to change about me? What am I doing right now that could become a liability? As you look toward the future and take inventory of yourself, identify the things you need to leave behind, things that no longer fit with who you need to become. Consider the kind of person you aspire to be, the standards you need to meet, and what you must do differently. Clear your mind of distractions. I used to hold the record for the fastest time to memorize a deck of cards in the United States. Sometimes, before I began memorizing, my mind would be cluttered with worries, things happening in my life or on my mind. To clear my thoughts, I would close my eyes and visualize those scenarios the way I wish they were, or how I hoped they would be one day. Then, when I opened my eyes, the stress was gone and I could focus on memorizing the deck of cards. Clear your mind of distractions. Maybe close your eyes and visualize things the way you wish they could be. Then focus on your studying. How well you perform depends on how much effort you're willing to put in. If you're starting a company or pursuing any big goal, you need to work incredibly hard. So what does working super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we rented a small office and slept on the couch. We showered at the MCA, and we were so strapped that we had just one computer. The website was live during the day, and I was coding at night 7 days a week all the time. During that period, I briefly had a girlfriend, and to be with me, she had to sleep in the office. So work hard, every waking hour. That's the thing I would say, especially if you're starting a company. If you do the simple math, if someone else is working 50 hours a week and you're working 100, you'll get twice as much done over the course of a year as they will. If you want to learn something faster, you must first and foremost understand the connection between what you want to learn and your dream life, the lifestyle you truly want. I tell people all the time, don't just come up with random things to learn, because guess what? We want to learn everything. As humans, we are naturally curious animals, sometimes dangerously curious. We live in a curiosity killed the cat society. Everyone wants to learn 50 new things all at once, but no one ends up mastering anything. Why? Because it's not real for them, it's a fleeting desire. If you want to become a great learner, what you learn must be tied to a dream life or a lifestyle you genuinely envision for yourself. Studying must be a priority. You can make all your dreams a reality, but only if you stop studying whenever you feel like it and instead make it a consistent priority. If you're studying only after hanging out with friends, after watching TV, or only when you're bored, you're not serious. You're not committed. You're not immersed in it. It's not haunting your dreams at night. When you pass your exams and rise to the top of your class, it will open doors, I promise you that. But you've got to turn off the TV. You've got to cut off certain distractions. You need to optimize your life to get your homework done, to get those exams done, and to earn that degree. Right now, you're doing it all in your leisure time. Listen to me, you're not making your studying a priority and you're not treating your education like a priority. There are things you've got to sit down and commit to. Whatever your goals are, they can be achieved and they will be achieved. And how will we do it? We will do it by listing our priorities. We will do it by shutting everything else out. We will do it by saying no to anything that doesn't align with our goals. We will do it by getting focused, laser focused. We will do it by waking up every single day and taking every moment to focus on what truly matters. When we get to the end of the year, we won't be disappointed. We won't be defeated. We won't be destroyed. This won't be another disappointing year. This won't be another year of excuses. This won't be another year where you avoid the work. This will be the year that you stop half doing things. You stop half doing your homework. You stop half doing your exams. You stop half doing your studying. This will be the year of execution. If not now, when? If not you, who? Look, I never told you it would be easy, but it's doable. It's not going to be easy, but it will get done. Let me give you an example. This is how I did it. I turned my paper in 4 weeks early. The professor sent it back to me with a bunch of red marks. I fixed it and gave it back to her. She sent it back with even more red marks. I fixed it again and returned it to her. Then she said to me, "You don't really write that well. I'm not sure you'll be able to get a 4.0. And I said, "Look, where I come from, it's not all about skill." Let me tell you something, you will miss a lot of shows fooling with me. Your family won't get much family time, and you'll check my paper over and over again. I'm being real. I will not stop turning in my paper, and you will keep grading it. If I were you, I'd help me make the corrections so you won't have to keep dealing with me. But if you think I'm going to quit, I promise you I will be at your office hours every single one. I will haunt you in your sleep until I achieve what I want to achieve. There are people with incredible talent but no motivation, and there are others who may lack natural ability winning every day through hard work and determination. Every time you lose at something, you're one step closer to winning the next time. The difference between successful and unsuccessful people is simple. Unsuccessful people give up. The hardest lesson in life is learning how to lose. Winning is easy, you're happy, you get a high five, your friends celebrate with you, but it's your ability to take a loss, get up the next day, dust yourself off, and keep going that truly defines your character. I just want to encourage everyone out there, listen to me, your day is coming, but you need to do me a favor. You need to sit down and take a hard look at your life. Look at the effort you're putting in. Look at how much you procrastinate. Identify where you're going wrong, figure out where you can improve, and put it all together. Before you know it, you'll have the grades you were aiming for, the career you dreamed of, the car and house you wanted. If you're willing to grind it out, you can get it done. Sometimes, though, this can be hard to understand. You can try your best and still fail. You can be so prepared, yet still experience failure. And every failure hurts, it causes sadness, and as I saw last night, it can cause deep disappointment. I've often said that a person's character isn't judged after a victory, but by how they act when their back is against the wall. No matter how great the setback or how severe the failure, you never give up. You pick yourself up, brush yourself off, push forward, move on, adapt, and overcome. That's what I believe. Everyone listening, I won't be stopped. I can't be stopped. You're either committed or you aren't. You're either willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, or you aren't. You must be willing to go through hell, high water, fire, and brimstone to reach your goals, or you won't get there. Work on yourself. Work on your focus. You can't stop. You've got to keep working. The problem is, you see difficulty as something negative. I want you to change that perspective. See difficulty as an opportunity. Are you hearing me? Push through it. You can get through it. The harder it gets, the more challenging it becomes, the more you're building muscles. Life is like that. You're either heading into a storm in the middle of one or coming out of it. It's a cycle and there's no way around it. Just be careful not to let the trials and tribulations consume you. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire, a CEO of a major company, or an entertainer, problems are part of life. What I'm trying to tell you is this: problems will always be there, but it's not supposed to be easy. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. Rough times will come, but they won't stay. No matter how bad things get, make it your personal business to make it happen.